Makeup Live. Hello, I'm Amanda, St. Artist. It is a very gloomy day, so I know my lighting isn't top notch, but it's Monday. I am here as I always am. Every Monday I do a live and we just do our makeup. We talk about confidence. I feel like that's a big topic that comes up every time I do a live. And I'm going to be doing a traditional foundation. This was a conversation that came up last week where I was talking about them and they said, what if you tried it by just placing it in the places where you put foundation with Saint to see how it works. So we're going to do that. I will be hybriding it with my Saint makeup on my contours. I think doing them together is nice. And I'm thinking of doing a matte finish versus, I mean, why not, right? Good morning, Marie. Ooh, my middle name is Marie, and I kick myself all the time for not having my daughter's first name not be Marie instead of a middle name. I feel like it always gets thrown in as a middle name. It needs to be a first name. Grandkids. I'm reaching for the grandkids on that one. Anyways, I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button, and once I get a couple people on here, I'm going to get started, but I am going to be using some foundations that I have on hand. I was really pleasantly surprised with the Tarte C Hydroflex. This, I think this tiny little thing cost me $16, and it's so liquidy. It's so liquidy, but it gave really good full coverage. I can't decide which between these two I like the most. I have found that while I've been playing with traditional foundations outside of Saint, because I love my Saint makeup. So primarily I'm a Saint makeup girl. Cream base, 3D, customizable. I love this stuff. I mean, I've hit 10 on a lot of things. I love this stuff, and I know they're little. I've had somebody make a comment of these are just too small and you'll end up spending just as much money. No, these last you months. The ones you replace the most are probably your main highlight the most, but your contour lasts for doggone ever. And so I'm going to talk about the makeup, but these last just as long, if not longer, than traditional makeup. I think it depends on the coverage you do and the frequency that you wear makeup. Like today, I'm wearing my makeup twice. I'm chicken lady today. So after I get done here, I got to go do a bunch. It's raining. I live in Oregon on the coast, so we live in fog and rain. And I've got chicken work to do. So after that, I'll shower, get ready. Okay. All right. Saint is so pigmented. Traditional foundations, let's see, which ones do I have on hand? So I have my old makeup, but that's expired and I'm not putting it on my skin. These are the three I've played with the most recent. So I have Charlotte Tilbury. This is Beautiful Skin Foundation. This is the Tarte C Hydroflex. This has skincare in it. Be careful when you're using foundation with skincare because makeup is skincare, but having it infused, you need a lot. It's very minimal. It's not going to be skincare the way your night routine and your morning routine. Okay. And so using what does it say? It says it's skincare. It's serum foundation. The serum amount in a foundation is very minimal, but they can say it because technically it is in there, but it's so minimal. It's not like skincare, but finding a good makeup is a form of skincare. All right. And then I have the Catrice. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Estee Lauder. I want to go get color matched in person to try Estee Lauder, but it is a matte finish. And through trying all these different foundations, I have found matte finishes are not for me. But the one thing these three have in common, they are 20% pigmentation. Traditional foundations, you're not late, don't worry. But traditional foundations are 20% pigmentation, and you can go and get the stick foundations, and those are double the pigmentation, so roughly around 40% pigmentation. You need a lot of product. That's why traditional makeups can look really thick and chalky and heavy, because you have to put a lot on sometimes to get that coverage, and then you still have to use concealers on it. All right, so keeping that in mind, when you're using Saint makeup, it's 80% pigmentation. So you got your 20% pigmentation versus 80. That's why it can be very sheer. You can mix, it's nice. You can mix this with your moisturizer. You can mix this with your SPF moisturizer. I wouldn't recommend it. I would do that first and then apply makeup. This isn't necessarily sheer and light, but it's not full either. It's both. It's everything. You can put this on as light as you want or as heavy as you want. This can be stage makeup. This could be beach makeup. This could be just fixing stuff. I've got stuff. So I've got scarring, hyperpigmentation. I have a touch of rosacea. I have stuff. I'm 43 years old. I've got darkness coming in under my eyes. I got fine lines and wrinkles. And excuse me, when it comes to my makeup, I find makeup very easily. I also don't do injections. I don't have the Botox or the Restylane or the lip fillers. I'm aging gracefully right now. And with that, my makeup wasn't working with me anymore. And so I was always trying the next best makeup. I do find that finding a dewy finish foundation for my changing and maturing skin can be helpful. Yes, you can buy this for your sister. There's a link in the description. And if you click that, you can sneak me a picture. It's a great Christmas gift. It's affordable. They're $16 a color, whereas this tiny thing was $16 also, but I did need more product than what I needed out of my Saint. Same with this guy right here. I find you need more foundation on your face, which makes these not last as long to get the coverage you can get with Saint. Saint gives you really full coverage with less makeup on your face. I like it because it's cream, it's dewy, it doesn't set. I find that when I do a matte finish foundation, it settles in and it accentuates my pores and it doesn't give me the cover. I mean, I don't like this stuff. Everybody likes it. Some people are fine with things showing through. There's some things I'm okay with showing through, and there's some things that just make me feel insecure. And makeup is personal, and it's finding what works for you and what makes you look your best. Okay. The Saint looks like it would be moisturizing. It's super hydrating. It works with your skin rather than on your skin. So when you put it on today, maybe I'll do half my face with Saint and half with traditional makeup. I always liked my makeup. I'm not saying traditional foundation is bad and it looks bad. It's finding makeup that works with what your skin does. I'm oily, so if you're oily, if you're dry, if you have large pores, finding what works with your kind of skin. And I have found I like these two the most, but I like Saint more. And that's the difference. I've always liked my makeup. I've always liked doing my makeup. The difference is I tried Saint. I liked it more. It works with my skin. It moves with my skin. The other thing I notice is if I notice it's moving and I need to reset it, I don't need to grab my palette and fix it and add more. I can either press it out if I find creasing or movement, or I just take one of my brushes and I just press it with my brush and it resets it. It's almost like it reactivates it without adding more. And I can feather out my pores if I notice it that throughout the day. Like this weekend, I was at a swim meet, very hot. It was very humid in that pool area. And I would notice that my makeup can look a little different over time. I just took a brush and I just pressed it back out, looked like new again. I didn't need to add more product. I just needed to reactivate it. And that's what I like about Saint. It works with my skin by day, with my skin by month. What my skin is doing today isn't always what sometimes my redness is really big. It works with my skin that's changing every day from beginning to end of day. That's it. So we're gonna do our makeup. I like to do my eyes first. This is a big tip. If you find that you are getting more darkness under your eyes and you don't know what to do about it, doing your eye makeup first is key. Because when you're using eyeshadows that are browns or purples, using those darker tones as an eyeshadow and doing that last, it's gonna fall, it's gonna hit right here on this nice little orbital shelf, cheekbone shelf, and it's gonna mix with your makeup. It's going to accentuate fine lines. It's going to darken your under. It's gonna mix with your makeup. I mean, think about blush. When you're using traditional powder blush, it goes on. Same thing with powder eyeshadows. It's gonna go down, you're gonna go to sweep it off, and it's going to change the tone. It's gonna make your under eyes look more mature, especially if you're of an age, and it's gonna accentuate those fine lines when you smile. So when you take a picture, you may feel good when you're looking in the mirror, and then you smile on a picture, and those dark little lines look accentuated. Okay. Yes, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button. Today, Mondays, I'm gonna say this, okay. Every Monday I do a long live. Every Monday I'm here. Every Monday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, every Monday, and they're long. And then throughout the week, I trickle out short form videos and reels or shorts or whatever they're called. But today is going to be a long one, okay? But I talk about Saint makeup every Monday. I mix different things in. I listen to what the things that people are saying, and I make short form videos based off of them, or today's live. I'm going to do a traditional foundation, and I'm going to hybrid it with Saint to show how they can work together. A lot of people say, hey, can I use this with Saint? Yes, you can mix Saint with everything, just the same way you mix all your makeup with different brands, okay? You're already cute. You don't need makeup. That's a touchy subject, I think, for women. So makeup. I never said I was ugly. Like, I don't think I'm ugly without makeup, but makeup makes me feel more confident. And makeup is so personal. I say this almost every single Monday because I always get one of those comments. And I don't think those comments are bad. I know they come from a good place, but we never said we were ugly before makeup, but that some of us, not everybody, some of us feel most confident with makeup. And I'm one of those people. And I wear my makeup for me, the way that makes me feel good when I look in the mirror. My makeup isn't for my husband. It's not for my parents. It's not for me walking into a grocery store. I don't wear my makeup for a checker. I wear my makeup for me. The clothes I wear for me. What makes me feel good in my skin is all that matters, and that's the same for everybody. Okay. I have fun putting on makeup. I've always loved putting on makeup. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to do my eyes first. I use the same eyeshadow primer. Been loving it. I have a lot of links in the description. If you click the little link, it'll bring you to my link tree, and I put the Saint products I like, the non-Saint products that I like. If it's not Saint, I don't get a dime off of it. I just like sharing it, and this is one of those products. I don't sell it. All right. I do have kids. I have 3 amazing kids, and they aren't at the makeup phase yet. They want to be, my little girls. They want to be. They're little, cute little buttons. They do have their own play makeup that they can play with when we're home, but not when we're leaving the house. All right, so I just put a little dollop, not really dollop, but a little swipe of the primer. It's a liquid shadow that sets, and my makeup doesn't crease. My eyeshadow won't crease all day. You can sleep in your eyeshadow and it won't crease, and you can wear it tomorrow. Just wash at least your face. I'm going to use the BK Beauty brush. This is 203. It's a great shaped brush, and I prefer spreading my primer with a brush just to keep the consistency good. I notice it when I press it out with my finger. It just messes with the formula a little bit, and it doesn't hold up as well as pressing it out with a brush. I use this brush only for my primer. There is a link for it in the description. I love this brush. This was actually the shape of brush I used to do my eyeshadow with back in like the 90s. This was pretty much the only show in town, just different sizes of it. And I had a hard time switching over to fluffy brushes because I was so used to this brush. And I didn't start using a fluffy brush until probably 5 years ago. Okay. Yes, doing your makeup, it's one of those things. As a mom, you don't even get to go to the bathroom alone, okay? But you get to do your makeup. And when you can sit down and like just enjoy the ritual of makeup, it's fun. I like makeup. Okay. I'm a mom. I don't have hobbies. My hobbies are dishes and laundry and vacuuming and dusting. Those are my hobbies right now. All right. So we're going to go into this, make this a kindergarten class. That would be fun. I can't wait for my daughter's turning 10 in like 2 months. And I'm so excited for when she gets to the makeup phase. It's not now. It's not at 10. No way. But when she starts getting to I want to teach her friends a makeup class so bad. It'll be fun. All right. Now I'm going to take this BK Beauty brush, and I'm going to go into just a light color. Saint is customizable. So this is one of their new palettes you get with points. So we've talked about the new point system. There's no more party credits. It's all points. As you buy, you get 1 point for every $1. You get 200 points if you refer somebody to me. And with your points, you can get this new modular palette. So it holds it here, and then this can pop off. I've been using it for a week, okay? And I love it. It's so fun because you can just pull it off and set it down on the table, where you can open your palette and you can set it right on top and hold it. It does not magnetically stick to the top. You do have to hold it, but it makes it so nice you're not flipping back and forth trying to get back to your mirror. It's really nice. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go into a light color. So Saint has a lot of eyeshadow options, and I use Paris, but also Cupcake. They have a color called Pup, Mama. There's a lot of light tone colors, depending on your skin tone. Chai, for deeper skin tones, Chai is a really good option. But I do take this color and I use this as a prep for my eyeshadow. Powders blend well with powders, and I like a good base. I really work from the base of the brow bone down to the lash line. And then I'll put a bit of shimmer on, and I'm gonna pull out all my other eyeshadows. I don't know what color. I'm keeping this pretty simple because I know I'm going to be washing my makeup off, because again, I'm chicken lady today. And being chicken lady means after I do all my chicken work, we don't need to go down the laundry list of the chicken stuff I gotta do today, but I'm gonna need a shower afterwards. Okay. I have not, okay, have I dropped a drop of water on my eyeshadow? I haven't, but I don't even have water in here. I've got some cups I need to get put away, but I haven't done a drop of water. Honestly, I'm a little scared. I'd rather wet the brush than wet the shadow, because I do notice that when I use like setting spray is what I typically use because it's easy, it does put a mark on the shadow. I really don't want to get the whole top layer wet because it can, every shadow is, if you've played with Saint eyeshadows, you'll notice that the feel and the texture of them are a little bit different. And okay, I'm excited for me to do it. Oh, use rose. I have not bought rose water yet. I also was just talking with somebody yesterday. I did a FaceTime with a customer to talk about her makeup yesterday. And she told me about Aquaphor. They have an eye stick. I'm going to get that and try that and compare it to our balm, because it is, I think it's like $7 and it's a big stick. All right. Same as resetting when it's broken. I know, but it makes it kind of goopy, muddy. And for some of them, I don't know, I'm nervous. I'm too nervous to try it, honestly. Maybe I'll try it this week, but I'm not doing it on a Monday live because I don't want everybody seeing me get upset. All right, I'm gonna add, I don't know if there's a color you've been wanting to see, let me know and I'll try it, because again, I'm gonna be doing my makeup twice today. I love Spell. Next month's shade of the month has been announced. Maybe we should play with that. Yeah, let's play with next month's shade of the month. It's a good one. Mine broke, and it's Frost. And it's a color that's gonna be so good for the holidays, okay? Let's see, song suggestions. For what? Ooh, okay. What would I do a song suggestion for? For like a video, a short? Tell me. Okay, so this is the November shade of the month. This is a good holiday. Ooh, let's play with it. We'll do an eyeshadow tutorial. Again, today's getting washed off. Let's grab Spell. I'm gonna grab some Spell, which is this month's shade of the month. And I'm gonna grab Lullaby because it's so pretty with Frost. All right. So let's add all these. I'm gonna grab me some Drift. All right, we got our colors here. We got our color palette. Woo! I'm glad we figured that out. Okay, here is my color palette for today. So I put this color on for my base. I'm going to use Drift as my brow highlight. I'm going to put Frost on. I'm gonna do Spell, which is this. You can only get this color Spell. In October, it'll be gone November 1st, but this will be available November 1st. And then this is Lullaby. It is one of my favorites. I feel like it's not giving its true tone, but it is a very mauvey purple color. We're gonna do this. All right, I'm going to clean it off. If you haven't gotten, they have two sizes of the cleaning tile now. You can get this full size, or you can get one that's a nice little square, a mini. And they're so good for, I have a couple. I use one for my glitters. I have one for my demis, and then I have one for my eyeshadows. I think they need their own. You really don't want to sweep a fluffy brush into a tile that's been cleaning glitter, right? Right, okay. Can I play Rattle and Roll on Halloween? Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I don't know what that song is because I'm of an age, but I will try to do, I haven't done any Halloween looks, Rattle and Roll for Halloween. And I will try to make a couple Halloween looks throughout the week. And maybe I'll do some rattle and rolls with it. That could be really fun. I love good before and after sweep and swipes. Okay, rattle and roll short. I will go and figure that out. That could be fun. Rattle and roll on Halloween. That is challenge accepted. Okay, I'm gonna go into my first color, which will be Drift. And we're just gonna use a fluffy brush and we're gonna pop this up here. I like doing this first so it doesn't compromise my transition color. A lot of people, everybody's hooded eye is different. Mine, I think, is so different that people say it's not hooded. When I'm looking straight, I don't look hooded. I'm not the Daisy Duck eye where you can see everything, but when I turn to the side, my maturity shows. All of it does. I mean, you could see life is falling apart. Okay. Foundation color I am right now. So for Saint, I am Athens. Right now I'm Athens and I am White Peach to brighten. I've been kind of being pulled to use Sunlit, but today I'm not using Saint foundation. Today I'm going to be using a traditional foundation, and I think I'm going to try the Hydroflex again. And I'm going to hybrid it with Saint today. Because we're fun, right? Let's get crazy with, it's not crazy, that's silly. I think it's funny when people do that. Okay, next color I'm gonna go into is Frost. I'm gonna do this on my lid. It's a nice light color. I'm gonna use the small end of the eyeshadow brush. Look at that. There's two ways you can apply this. You can just use a brush and tap this on, okay? We're gonna tap this on the lid. This is such a pretty holiday color. You can tap on a shimmer over this and change the tone just a little bit and let it play with your shimmers. It's pretty. So I'm just gonna build this up to where I want it, but I'm just putting this on my lid. I need to get my mirror out because this is harder than you think. This new modular palette is the perfect size and so fun. So if you have points, if you're a Saint customer, log into your account and go into the upper right, click the human and pick loyalty rewards, and in big numbers, it's gonna tell you what you have. And if you need more, refer a friend and you get 200. Your first purchase after October 1st, you get 50 bonus points too. All right, grabbing that brush, and we're just gonna keep building. This can be, I mean, this is a good one. It feels very retro going on, okay. Okay, my responsibility to respond. Thank you for saying I'm cute. All right, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna put this all over the lid. If you feel like it's not applying as heavy as you want and you want it super punchy, not grab your finger, but use your finger, rub that onto your finger, and you can press it on and it can add a lot more punch. To see, finger application, brush. Don't worry about being tidy. The other nice thing about doing your eye makeup first is you can put it anywhere and it will be cleaned up when you do your makeup. Okay, so we've got Frost on. Probably looks a little different. This is not a color I usually use, but this is November's shade of the month. It's gonna be so good for Christmas time, holiday parties. It's gonna be good. Next, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna clean this brush off a bit. We're gonna go into Lullaby, and this is gonna be my transition shade. And we're gonna pop that up here. And it's just a pretty mauve. And you could stop at this point. I always use my transition shade just pretty much straight across. Okay. It's a really fun, good, I'm excited to hear it. If I had my laptop with me, I would try it out right now. All right, luckily, oh, you dropped yours. Luckily you have a backup, good. But you can also fix them. You just take rubbing alcohol, you can use setting spray and press it back down. It's never gonna look the same, but you can. All right, so I'm just gonna take lullaby across, just like that. Okay, to start. We're gonna go right over here. Because I have hooded eyes on the outside, or droopiness, I don't know what to call it, I pull mine straight out to help give the illusion of lift. And I'm just gonna blend this out. And you can stop there if you want. I'm not going to. We're gonna add a little more. I'm gonna go in on the small end and I'm gonna go into Spell. And I'm just gonna put this on the outer quarter of my lid. And then I'm gonna press this up and into Lullaby. And I'm using the short side of the eyeshadow brush just to make it a little deeper than using my fluffy brush. But it just adds a bit of depth like that. And you just build it up to where you want. This all comes together. I always say, once your makeup, okay. Braylon, hello, be nice, 12-year-olds. They can be mean. Be a nice one. Okay. You can do a unibrow. You can make a unibrow. Some people prefer to draw their brows together and then they clean it up to make them more even. I've seen people do that. I think it's kind of unnecessary. But it just depends on how you like to do your makeup. I'm not going to yucca yum. All right, so we're going to pop this on the outer corner. And I'm staying above my outer corner. And I'm keeping it up high, and then I'm pressing onto the base of that brow bone and over and letting it work with Lullaby. And it's gonna come together. Okay. Is Frost a blue-green? It's like a seafoam turquoise. It is a matte. It's not a, it's soft, but it is a matte finish. And yeah, I would call it more of a seafoam turquoise. Mermaid turquoise. My girls call this a mermaid color. Okay. I don't teach unibrows. I think maybe for Halloween. I don't know. All right. You like working with the green tones. They're so much fun, especially with the holidays, the holidays. All right, I'm going to go in with my etch brush. I've been using my etch brush a lot. On the small end, I'm going to take some setting spray. I'm trying to use up this one, so I'm going to get the brush wet. We just spray a little bit on there. It doesn't need to be sopping wet, just needs to be damp. Okay, and I'm going to go into Spell, and I'm just going to add a little tiny little wing. Just a little tiny little wing. We're just going to build that up on that outer half of the eye on the lash line. And this is going to give my eye a little bit of lift, because we know what I've been saying this whole video almost is things be falling apart, which was my eyes. But adding a little depth just above that lash line just pops the eye up just a little bit. So I just use the small end of the etch brush to add that lift by just adding, again, I don't do the injections. I'm not trying to lift my brows with Botox or fill it in. So with traditional foundations, I have found that my little yelling at my kids line right here looks very deep with traditional foundations. So with the way I apply it today, we shall see. All right, got that added. And now we're gonna add our eyeliners. I like to finish the eye and then move on. Okay. You want? Okay, want a big moustache above your eyes. I feel like this is going somewhere else. This isn't gonna be a Halloween look. All right, we're gonna do our waterline. I like doing a waterline. Again, do your makeup in the way that makes you feel good. I find that pencils can look really harsh when they're above the lash line, and they can easily get too thick and too heavy looking and can make your eye look small. I use my pencil as a waterline. It's gonna set. I don't waterline the bottom every time. There's occasions I do. And then on this outer part where I added that depth, I'm just gonna wiggle this in between the lashes. So I have thinning lashes because we get older and that's how it works. Okay. Could I put bat outlines on the cheeks? I gotta go to town today. Mm-mm. Before I do my chicken stuff, I gotta go to town. There's no bat. But for my rattle and roll, maybe I will. We can do that. That would be fun. I do love bats. If anybody knows, they know that have been here. We used to have not a colony, but we had a few bats that were getting into our attic, that were getting into our house. It's been fixed, but for a couple years there, we were getting bats in the house. So I have a lot of bat facts. All right, so we're gonna go up and over. We're just filling that in. If anybody thinks I don't have the time for this, a lot of the makeup I do today, one, I talk a lot, I explain a lot, but if you're doing event makeup, not everyday going to work makeup, your makeup's gonna take a little longer. I had somebody who's watching one of my really old videos, but it is my most popular video, and that is the video for the Yellowstone eyeshadow. I can't even remember her name. I've never watched Yellowstone, but I did an eye look based off of it, and it's done really well. But somebody's like, I don't have that time. I think it was 9 minutes with talking, which isn't so bad. But at the same time, when you're doing a particular eye look, there's gonna be extra time involved. But if you're just smashing it on for work, it goes very quickly. All right, going in with my liquid liner. I like a good liquid liner. This is Stila. It's a stay all day. It is a waterproof liner. There is a link for it. And I'm just going to add a little touch of a wing here within that eyeshadow that I put there. And I'm adding a little swoop today. I wanted to give it a try. And so I add the upper swoop, and then I come up a little bit above my outer corner to where my lashes start, and then I meet the wing, and then I fill it in. If you go from the lash line out, it can sometimes make it look a little jagged, and we don't want it to be a little jagged, but sometimes adding a little swoop can add a little swoop. Okay, so I go about halfway in and I hit that lash line, and then I go straight out and off the lash line, and then I can go and just add that little swoop, and then I can go up and add it right there. Eyeliner, eyebrows, they're sisters, not twins. Give grace and keep practicing. I like this pen because it has such a fine tip. You can get extra detailed with it. So if you want to draw bats on your face, you can with this pen. I gotta look up how to draw tiny bats now. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. I'm gonna finish my eyes like mascara after my face is on, because I just think you should. Because I like to do a little cleaning up, because I do lash serum and it discolors my eyes. A lot of lash serums do that. Latisse does it. I use Babe Lash. It's a really nice one. They do a lot of sales. Keep an eye out for them. I believe I did the link for it. I'll double check. And it's a really good serum, but most lash serums add discoloration to your eyes. Mine's across the top on my top lash line, and then as I'm sleeping with it, it transfers down here, and I have it down here. Okay, we're gonna use the Tarte Hydroflex. This one surprised me because it's liquid, but it's full coverage. It covered my stuff. So I'm gonna put this on the beard of my face. Okay, does the eyeliner pen poke you as it is? It is a soft tip. And so it's a felt tip, so it's not a brush, so it's not loosey-goosey. It has structure to it, but it has good movement. But that pointy tip really helps you with, if you want, I like going to a fine point, not a blunt end of the liner. This helps you get in. You could probably do freckles with this thing. I don't know, but it doesn't poke me. So when I go in and I'm tapping it like this, filling in, no, it's really soft. It's a good pen. I like it. I've been using it for years. I'm on like my 4th or 5th empty. It's really good. I find that the Saint Powder brush is a really great brush when you're using traditional foundation. I don't like using beauty blenders in general, but when you are using traditional foundation, does anybody remember those makeup triangles? Sorry, this stuff really can get into your schnoz. But, okay, can you get a shout out? Yes, Zoe, you can get a shout out. Okay. Okay. I haven't, okay, I need to dig into Jeffree Star. Do I like Jeffree Star? I don't know. I think from what I've seen of Jeffree Star, I'm a very basic girl. Like, I'm a basic bitch, okay? But I'm not a big elaborate makeup person. And I like watching them for entertainment. Like Bailey Sarian, I love watching her. There's just something, I really love watching her videos. And I love her Murder Mystery Makeup Mondays. They're so good. Okay, while I clean this, hit subscribe. I love new subscribers. I love people who come back. But I like watching the big elaborate, Nikki Tutorials is another one I really love to watch. She uses a lot of filters, but I love watching her. But Bailey Sarian, she's the one that made me feel like I could do this. She's the one, because she just talks and she doesn't care, and I don't do makeup like her. I wish I could, but she's the one that made me think, I really like my Saint makeup. How would I share this? Could I do this? I just wanted a couple extra bucks in my pocket, honestly. I didn't want to build a team. I hated MLMs. Now it's not an MLM, so it's even better. But I really was like, how would I share this? And then I was like getting on and watching her videos, watching Nikki Tutorials, and she just made me feel like I could make a tutorial. That's how people make tutorials. Like, I can make tutorials. Surely. And so that I don't know her, but there was just something about the way she does things that makes it seem possible. Okay, so this is the powder brush by Saint, and I find that this brush reminds me a lot of the OG brush. It reminds me of the Merit brush. This one is significantly cheaper than those brushes. I think this one's $40 and the OG brush is $65 and it's one end. And I've been really loving doing my makeup, Saint makeup and traditional makeup with this brush, but I have found that this end works really well with traditional foundation, because if you're using beauty blenders, they just get gunky. They get gunky really. You can clean them, but I mean, those puppies get deep and they absorb in. And so, okay, you've been doing makeup on Instagram? Yes, okay. Okay, yes. Okay, Danny. I haven't tried Huda foundation yet. Instagram is not, Instagram is one of those, I feel like every platform does something different. YouTube is my jam because people come here to learn. We were trying to fix an air vent in our bathroom. YouTube will tell us how. My husband busted my KitchenAid mixer. He went to YouTube and learned how to fix my KitchenAid mixer that he busted, and he fixed it. You go to YouTube to learn long form videos, and that's what I do. I cannot do short forms. I talk too much, as we can tell. But Instagram is a place where it's all short form videos and stories. People love a good picture, but you got to share it to stories, and people want to get to know you. And I have a really hard time doing that. Like, I clam up. It's always a highlight reel. Like, you're never going to get on your bad day. Everybody has bad days. And I just couldn't do it, so I don't. But I get on here and I get all like, we talk about Thanksgiving and stocking stuffers, and I like it, but I can't do it every day. I cannot. And that's Instagram. And then Facebook, I treat it more like my catalog. My Facebook group, if you haven't joined it, please do. Go to the link, scroll to the bottom, join my Facebook group. I'm consistently sharing something new in there every single day, showing how it wears on different skin types, ages, colors. I share different, like today I showed the makeup on women with dark under eyes, because everybody has them. It's just different. Okay, I need to do my makeup. All right, we're gonna go in with our Tarte Hydroflex. I like Tarte products. I want to do one with e.l.f. products, because I do think showing products. Oh, I have a NYX. Let's do NYX. Can't Stop, Won't Stop today instead of Tarte. I haven't even opened it. We're gonna use that concealer today. I have the color, I don't know what color. Light Ivory. That's light. We're gonna see. Okay, let's try this one. I usually grab my little travel size. Tarte, this stuff will last a long time. You really don't need a lot. I find that my discoloration pulls through halfway through the day with it, but we'll see. I also am not wearing today's makeup all day, but this is the Ultra Creamy Concealer. So yeah, how much makeup do you recommend for a 14-year-old to wear? I would recommend, you don't need a brightening when you're 14. If you're just getting into makeup, I would do a main foundation color, and I would do the blush and bronzer brush because you can do your whole face with it. I would do a main foundation color, main highlight. I'd love to color match you. And I would do maybe bronzer, no contour, no brightening, and then a blush. And then a setting powder. I would do the new blotting powder because it's so good. Because there's breakouts at there's breakouts. If you're 14, breakouts happen in your 40s. Oh, it sucks. I know. I thought that I wouldn't, and then I do. But having a powder that works with your breakouts so that and I would do the blotting powder so it doesn't add texture to it, but that's what I would recommend. You don't need a lot. It's babysitter money makeup. Like, it's 16 bucks a color, and you won't use a ton of it. It's okay. But yeah, blush, bronzer, foundation color, and powder. And it can fit in a little guy this size. All your face could fit right here. You can get one that has two deckers and have some eyeshadows too. Okay, so we're gonna do Can't Stop, Won't Stop today with Tarte. And I always sit on my foot because my chair, I need a new one. Okay, powder brush, Tarte. So I found that this one, I put too much on last time. So we're just gonna put some on. You're gonna see it absorb into the brush. Don't let it scare you. Breakouts happen in your 50s and 60s. There's nothing, it's just, it is what it is. Some skin breaks out more than others. It is what it is. Some teenagers never break out. I was not one of those teenagers. I was a forehead breaker outer. Okay. I used to, remember when those big headbands were popped? Okay, I need to do my makeup. We're gonna pop this on. It's gonna absorb right into the brush. See that? I'm just gonna add 4. But it just went right into the brush. We're just gonna put this on the beard of our face. So I'm gonna cancel my redness. I'm gonna cover my scarring. I'm not gonna worry about my under eyes, and then balance down here. We're just gonna add this on. And I have a pretty darn good color match. I used their color match tool, and I put in my Saint highlight color. I already need more. I don't wanna overdo it. But I used their color match tool, and I found that it pulled me too light, so I shaded up and it worked out great. So I think I went up 2 shades. So know your skin. And I'm gonna go over my scarring. But remember, my Saint makeup is 80% pigmentation. I get more coverage with my Saint makeup with less product on my face. I don't know how I said that wrong. Okay, I need a little more. We're gonna grab and tap, 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 tap. I'm doing about 5 dots per. So we're gonna go over the scarring now and into my crease here. Going around the mouth, down the jaw. Always go down the jaw. Don't forget your neck. Dolly Parton taught me that. It's amazing things you learn from so many places. But we're just gonna cancel out my scarring a bit. And with Saint, there's also, oh, I dripped on my palette. Okay, I'll just pick that up, put that on. With Saint, your blushes are also foundation. So I'm not worrying too much about some of it showing. I'm gonna use there, ooh, look at that. Okay, this stuff is very liquidy, but well pigmented. Like, it does give you really good coverage. I do feel, with the camera balance, I do feel like it kind of accentuates my pores a bit. But you can see here, like, I've got darkness under my eyes, and that part of that comes from the Lullaby and the Spell color that I put on, that this darkened right here. And that's why you want to do your eyeshadow first, because some of this is makeup. But I feel like this doesn't live with my skin the way that my Saint does. This is more living on my skin than with it. But I've balanced my skin. This is just too, there we go. That'll give it a better. I like showing my skin. There's a lot of people out there that talk about their makeup and they use beauty filters, which are fine, but not when you're talking about makeup. Sorry. There's a bird being weird. Okay, sorry. We had a bear in our yard and we don't know where it is. And so it was very comfortable here. That's all I'm going to say is it was very comfortable here. We were out, my husband was going to another part of our property to go work out, and he walked outside and was walking and looked over because he felt like he was being watched. You forget that feeling? And there was a bear, a black, big bear across the yard watching him. And he called me. He's like, hey, I'm face to face with a bear right now. I don't know if I can make it to a door in time. And so it was a little scary, but then it just got bored and walked away 'cause he just didn't move. And later, like an hour later, hour and a half, he was tucking our chickens in and came down to our garden and was eating some tomatoes and turned around, and it was like 30 feet behind him. And so he backed away and came inside, and we got one of our guns, and I had to, like, we shot at it, not wanting, I said, shoot close, hit a tree, just scare it. We haven't seen it since, so we've been watching for birds just in case we accidentally. Anyway, there we go. All right, foundation on. Bears are scary. Okay, so that is that. It's a nice finish. If you're looking, I like the look of makeup, but I like the look of Saint makeup more. This is if you are fully into finding a good, I can go to Ulta and buy it. Some people don't like to order online, but if you want a good, go into Ulta makeup. This is a good one. I think this one is a little hard to find. Sephora might be, I had to order this from the Tarte site, but at Ulta, this one is also really good. And this is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin. Both have a good dewy finish. It feels hydrating on my skin. Like when I touch it, it doesn't feel like a powder coating. This has a nice dewy finish. Okay, so here's the deal with foundation. It can be very mattifying, especially concealers, and it can accentuate and crack. I'm not wearing this all day, so I'm gonna show it, but I'm gonna put this on. I find concealing with Saint is better. It's more, again, way more pigmented, 20%, 80%. And so when I correct my under eyes, it's covered and good all day. This I feel like wears thin and it can sometimes crepe throughout the day. I am going to use our balm. I love Saint's balm. I'm gonna get the Aquaphor balm and give that a try too, if you're needing something to just go grab at the store. But I'm gonna take my balm, I'm gonna put this under my eye. One, this is gonna clean up some of that eyeshadow that I put under my eye, or I put on my eye and it fell. So I'm gonna clean it up a little bit with the balm, but this also creates a really nice base that works with concealers. And you can do this with Tarte concealer. We're gonna use it with the Can't Stop, Won't Stop today. That's by NYX. And I find that having a good base, and there's been a lot of people, I think, on the TikTok, I don't do the TikTok, that use that Aquaphor stick. All right, we're gonna use this. This is very light. Concealer should be a touch lighter than your skin, and using a balm under your eyes will help, because if you have maturing under eyes, you have fine lines, and the more you smile and the happier you get, the deeper they show. And having a good base of a balm like Saint's balm or maybe the Aquaphor won't look crepey when you put on something like a concealer. So we're going to take a concealer and we are going to, I'm just going to point an arrow down, and then we're going to go down the middle. I always get right here and then right here also. And then I'm going to be careful. I don't think you need too much, but we're gonna tap up to add lift right here. And then I'm going to get my darkness. So my darkness is extra dark right here. And then in my trough, this will lift my trough. Everybody has a shadow here. Orbital bone, soft tissue, it happens. So you wanna go into the trough because lightness pulls out, and you're gonna add some lift. But I'm also going to correct the extra darkness I have right here. Okay? Haley, I hear you. I'm teaching. The other place that I'm going to add is right here under, I'm gonna add lightness right here, and then I'm gonna add some lightness right here. And this is gonna give me a touch of lift. So if you have mature skin, this is a nice place to just add a little bit of lift. I don't have a beauty blender with me, so we're gonna stick with this brush. Okay, can you maybe play the rattle and roll on Halloween because I'm excited? Yes, I'm going to do rattle and roll. It'll be on Halloween. It will be part of my shorts. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and you'll see it. Okay, so we're gonna take this brightness and we're gonna blend it, but we're not going to smear it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that brush and you're gonna start tapping it out, and it's gonna conceal and it's gonna be light. So it's gonna give, it's supposed to look like reflecting light. When you're not using a cream like Saint, it's gonna mattify. And so there's not gonna be a dewiness to it, I don't think, but it's gonna add lightness. It just makes these little areas prettier. We're gonna accentuate this pretty area with some contour. Okay, we're gonna take this right here and we're just going to flick it up, and it's gonna add lift. Lift, lift, lift. I prefer doing this before my blush. Lift and lift. But you can see it's getting hard to blend because it does set and I talk too much. But adding that lightness is going to give lift. We're gonna go right here and we're gonna keep it in the general area, and I'm gonna go over my brows. I have redness over my brows. Don't worry about anything here. Like, it's okay to see this defined line here. We have contouring to do. Okay, hold on, I'm sorry, that's getting ridiculous. Okay, so we're gonna go up and down the nose. Brightness lifts, okay? So it's gonna make my nose look a little wider. I'm gonna do this before my contour because it can make my nose look wider. Like I said, lightness pulls out. Do you see how it did that? But our contour is gonna go in. We're gonna clean up right here. And I stay on my orbital bone first, getting that darkness covered with the concealer. I find this stuff to be harder to blend than the Tarte, okay? And I'm trying to pull this down. So you have a natural shine right here. You see that smile reflection? I'm trying to pull that into that area. I find this stuff to not be as easy to blend as the Tarte. So if you're looking for a good concealer, I mean, it's an inexpensive option. I think it was $7 and I got it off of Amazon. But I find it to be very chalky feeling. It feels very dry and not as easy to blend even over that balm, which is weird. I might even grab balm to help blend it, but I don't want to add more. This stuff is going to, let's see. I just think, somebody once told me that sometimes I do my makeup, this was a friend, and she told me once that sometimes when I do, I'm blending, shit, let's fix that. Sometimes when I do my makeup, I make myself look older. That hurt. And it was my foundation and concealer that was doing it. I think I get a more youthful look with Saint. It's the dewiness, it's the skin looks like skin. Okay, let's get a mirror because I feel a certain way. It's not looking bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna look. I thought it was gonna look really crepey. It's not looking really crepey, but I'm not getting as much coverage as I would want. Where to go? Here it is. We're gonna add just a touch here. And this is what I mean. Like, the pigmentation is less than Saint, and so I need more to get more coverage. Okay, now we can go in and we're gonna add some structure because I'm kind of washed out. Looks a little Halloween-y. Looks like I'm ready to be Day of the Dead or something like that. Like, it looks like I'm gonna be a ghost. All right, Saint is cream, and I think it adds a dewy glow. You don't necessarily need shimmers to add dew. I find the shimmers, I think, accentuate my fine lines. So we're gonna use Saint's contour. I'm gonna use Cedar. I'm gonna grab my detail brush. It's my favorite one for contouring. And now I'm gonna go in and make all this hopefully make sense. I don't like this. I don't like the way it applied. It was hard. Contour, concealer. I'm trying to see if it says if it's mattifying. It doesn't say, but it felt like it, that's for sure. All right, go in and grabbing in my Cedar. I need a new one. I'm running out. We're gonna go in. You can kind of see everybody has natural shadowing We're just gonna follow that. I'm gonna bring it to the side and I bring it in right in this area here. I really like cedar because it has a touch of warmth to it that works with my hyperpigmentation. And so I'm gonna use this small end to just kind of blur. There's no product added to it, but what I'm doing is I'm just blurring the edge of my contour into that brightening, into that concealer. Usually I could go either or, where I can apply my contour first and then my brightening highlight. But when you're gonna do a hybrid, you want this first because it's gonna set, and then you have to work this into the blurring of it so it can kind of work together. But it's giving coverage. So my contour is foundation. It's just a dark shade. And your contour should be more on the cooler side, but if you have hyperpigmentation coming in like I do, I have a spot coming in here and a few extra up here, and then this guy, you want something that's not gonna grab it. So indigo can have red undertones and it can pull it out. I'm gonna use cedar because it is more of a matching to it. And I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna see my natural shadow here. I wanna put this above my natural, so you have your natural shadow, we're gonna go above it. And we're just gonna work it in. I smile a little, just like that. And we can blur this. But your contour is foundation, so it helps give coverage for that hyperpigmentation. Natural shadow, stay above it. Because when you're blending this out, it's gonna blend in a down, you can hold it up, but it will blend out and it will work with your shadow to add some lift. But I find that this foundation combo makes my skin, I look like a 40-year-old woman. And that is not my game. I do not like that. I want to look like I'm at least reaching 40 maybe, but not in it. And I'm in it. Okay, so we've got that there. And then we're gonna go and we're gonna do our nose because I added that concealer, which I feel made it look a little wide, and that's okay. And I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna use this edge. That's why I like this brush, it's squared. We're gonna use that edge to draw a straight line, and then we're gonna pull that shadow down. We're gonna follow that to our brow, and I go in and I stamp. I stamp, and I'm gonna square off the tip, like that. I'm gonna grab some more. We're gonna do the other side to match. Just drawing a straight line, stamp, bring that shadow down. And then I'm just gonna clean up right here to pull that foundation or that concealer color through. Look at that, it's starting to look a little better. But again, remember, these are creams, 80% pigmentation. These will work really well with any makeup. A lot of people like to just use their traditionals and use a cream contour stick, and those are all great and they blend really well. Merit has them OG. And with that, they don't have the pigmentation that Saint does. So they're at 40%, they're at 40% where we're at 80%. And so I prefer the Saint ones. If Saint went away, I would probably go and get them, but I think OG is way too overpriced. But okay, how old are you exactly? I'm 43 and I will be 44 next month. Yeah. All right, so there we go. I've got my contour on. I'm gonna add a little bit to this jawline. This is one of my favorite little things. I really only do this when I'm going out, but I go in front of my ear and then I just bring it down. And it just adds a little cleanup. See how it just kind of cleans it up a little bit? I think we're actually getting a little bit of sun through the clouds today, at least this morning. Okay, so we're gonna bring that down and we're gonna bring that up. And then I can go in, and if I wanna use bronzer, I'm using Xanadu as my bronzer. I obviously really like it. It has a touch of shimmer to it. And I'm gonna just tap this in this area here, and that's it. But it adds just a touch. I think if you're gonna be doing a hybrid, this would be a good bronzer because it'll add a little extra dewiness. Gonna grab that brush that we've been using for our makeup and we're just gonna tap it out. What's nice about creams is they just blend out easy peasy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And makeup should be fun or we're doing it wrong. If you're not having fun applying your makeup, you need a new makeup. If you don't feel confident halfway through your day in your makeup, you need a new makeup. Okay, where can we see you without any makeup on to see if there's a difference? You can go to the beginning of the video when you're done. You can go to my latest short that I did where I laid out, I think 4 or 5 of my befores, but I have a lot of scarring and redness, so loads of places to see me without makeup. Most of my videos start without makeup. Okay, let's do blush. What kind of blush? Ooh, I've been loving Fig. It's a semi-gloss. It's this guy right here. And I'm going to hybrid it with Frenchie because I have scarring that likes to pull through when I use punchy colors like Fig. So I'm going to take a little bit of Frenchie right here over my scars. Everybody knows where their scars are. Just lay it on top, grabbing that Fig, and I'm going to pop that up here. This is a really pretty lip color and cheek color, and you can use it for both. I use it as a lip liner, and I'll do these 2 colors together on my lips too. I'm gonna take that powder brush. Okay. How busy am I? I'm as busy as any mom can be. All right. We're just tapping these together. I start on the Fig, and then I bring it down to Frenchie. Okay. Bringing this around and then bringing it down last to the Frenchie because you don't want the main color because it'll pull my scarring through. And then I just use this end to clean it up. That's the glory of having a double-ended brush. Okay, things are coming together and I am going to finish off the eyes. Okay, we're gonna grab my etch brush and maybe I'll try this. God, that's so light. But we'll try it with the concealer. Because why not, right? I'm just going to take my etch brush on the square end and I'm going to pick up a little bit of concealer. And we're going to waterline the bottom lash line. Okay, so we're just going to take this. I think it's a bit too liquidy. And we're going to waterline first. Too liquidy. And I'm just going to waterline and it's too light. I'm going to clean up right here. And I'm going to waterline over here. There we go, got some of it off on the other eye, so there we go. We're just gonna clean that up, bringing it down. I want this outer bit of my under eye to be without eyeshadow or discoloration from my, my lash serum. And I'm just gonna use my finger to tap it out a bit. It's just gonna clean it up. And then same over here. And I just feel like, hold on, we're gonna wipe some off. And then feel very Bob Rossy right now. Okay, so we're just gonna clean that up. Clean this up too. Spread it out. And then I'm gonna go in with what's left right here. And I'm just gonna add in the middle some shadowing with that Spell color. I'm not gonna go into this outer corner. I'm just focusing it on the middle with what's left on the brush. So you'll get very little, if any, fallout because you've already taken off the excess. And I'm just adding this so that those are like they are. And then I'm gonna take my mascara. This is Babe Lash. I got it when I got my serum. It has kind of a little end piece that's very handy. And we're going to add lashes. I don't do fake lashes. I do for events, but not for every day. I rarely ever use them. I have some on the way and I'm excited to try them. I had a company reach out and ask if they could send me 3 sets and they have one of those, they're magnetic and they have an applicator that looks interesting. And that's what made me say, sure, why not? Hopefully I get it this week. We'll see. But there's a light and there's a natural, I don't know, it goes light, medium, full. We'll see. And I can trim them. That was a big deal for me. I was like, can you trim these? Because if you can't trim them, I'm out. I've got little eyes, and if I use lashes that are too long for my eyes, they make me look cross-eyed, or at least just a little cross-eyed. We're gonna I work on a lot of mascara time because I want it to look full. I like my lashes to be full, so I work on a lot of base application at the root. So they look fuller, and it also will make it look like my eyeliner comes in farther than it does. Sorry. Okay, grabbing a little more, and now I'm just going to add a little length to the tips and then a little bit to the bottom. I don't go crazy on my lower lash line. They can get splotchy easy and chunky easy. All right, lower lash line. Rimmel has a really good one I need to get again. And it has almost like a comb. It's really good for lower lashes. Okay. I'm gonna pop on some brows because brows matter. I didn't do brows last time. Brows are important, and then we're gonna do our lips. And I'm gonna do my lips the same color as my cheeks. So I think I get a little more structure. I do think this is a very nice finish. But in this area of my face, I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel, it just comes down to, and this is one of the things I struggled with before. I like traditional makeup. I like doing my makeup. Like, it's fun for me to do my makeup. And I just like Saint More. I think that's what it comes down to. I think it looks really heavy. That's what I think. I think it looks really heavy. And I think that that can make you look older than you are or more your age. But brows matter too. Brows matter. You can go crazy and have some real bad brows, but I like to draw my brows on like this. I like a good structured brow. Not everybody does. I was doing a wedding this last summer, and I was like, so what are we doing with your brows? Like, what do you want for your brows? And there's things to keep in mind when you're doing wedding makeup. And that is when you get your pictures taken, whatever you see here, 50% is taken away on the camera. Even now, what you guys see, my makeup is looking, that's why I like to zoom in, because you can get a better understanding of how heavy. And that's something I have not seen in a lot of people's videos. And that's why I like doing lives, is because when I'm doing a video, the zoom in just isn't like it is right now. Oh, it's a leaf. Okay, I thought somebody was driving up. Okay, so when I can zoom in on a live, you guys can kind of really see how the makeup sits on the skin. But I never, ever do my makeup on a video with a beauty filter. Like, that's a huge disservice to y'all. Okay, we're gonna go in with that detail brush again. I'm gonna go back into my cedar, and we're just gonna add a little shadow. This is gonna give you a fuller lip, so you don't need to go get injections, because those are phasing out. And I don't know what those lips are gonna look like when people stop filling them up. So remember when I said I was gonna add a little bit of extra to this area, because we did a light color to accentuate it. I'm gonna do a little Gomez Adams above my lip. Maybe I should, let's do, I want a better brush. So I'm gonna take my etch brush on that square, and I'm gonna grab some of my cedar, and I'm gonna do a full on Gomez Adams. So we're gonna go outline, it's like outer lining your lip here. Okay, you see that? Just taking that and adding a shadow tone above and outside of your natural lip line. You see that? Then we're gonna come up right here, and we're gonna add some in between the little peaks, okay? You're gonna take your little finger here, and you're gonna just blend this out, because it's a shadow, so it should have fade. And then we're gonna tap over these, and we're just gonna smash it out and give it a little blend. And it just accentuates this very pretty Cupid's bow, okay? And then, boop, 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 we're gonna grab, I'm not gonna use the concealer, I'm gonna use my brightening highlight, which is White Peach. We're gonna go right here, and we're gonna do a greater than, less than sign using a brightening highlight, okay? This is gonna clean up and give your lips a defined look, rather than, this might be a lip, this is really good if you're doing like a red lip. If you're doing a red lip, which I do for Halloween, a red lip, which I can't do today. Again, I'm chicken lady today. I'm going into a feed store. I can't walk in all red lipped and crazy looking. But you take that brightening highlight and you just clean up those outer corners, okay? And if you are doing a red, like there's a part of me that wants to do, I don't need makeup, trust me, thank you. I like makeup though, and that's the difference. Okay, this is, again, one of those comments that comes up every single time I do a live. Makeup is fun and it's for us and it's personal, that's it, the end. Okay, so if you're doing a red lip, when you look at a lip, you have your lip line, and then you have this little inner lip line up here. That is your red lip line, not this out here. It's gonna make your lips look like a sad aquarium fish. And so you wanna use that inner lip line on it. So we're gonna add some lip liner using I'm gonna line with Fig. And then we're gonna fill it in with Frenchie, which is what I had put on my apples. I'm using a multitasker brush and I'm going to line, not outer line. We did that with that shadow. And we're just gonna line, don't meet the corner. It's gonna drag your lips down. You wanna go close. Because when you close your mouth, it's here. And it's there. So you wanna go to where your lips meet when they're closed, not when it's open, okay? And then you're gonna go down here, align. And then when you get to this outer area, you wanna come in. And it's gonna give your lip a lift, okay? Just like that. And it's gonna give it a clean lift, which is really nice because if you're going like that, it makes the downward line droop and look fuller when you do that. Okay, and you can add as much color as you want after you line it, that's fine. Okay, going in with Frenchie, which is that color I put on my apples, this guy right here. I also use this as an under eye corrector when I'm doing Full Saint, and I'm just gonna go in with that Frenchie color and let it mix with that Fig color, and it's pretty. There, pretty color. This is a nice soft look. I used that frost color, and as I applied my makeup, it toned down. I know it looked really punchy, and if you feel like it's just not showing like it should, go get your finger. And this is the point where you look at your makeup and say, okay, what do I need to add? Do I need more depth on the outer corner? Do I want to add more brightness with that frost color? Go ahead and do it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And you can just add it. I'm trying to see a mirror here. Just like that. So simple, so easy. Just like that. I need to shorten my nails. It is the season for short nails for me. Baking season, all the things. But anyways, look. It's such a pretty holiday color. Okay. Let's set our makeup. So we have two new, and I forgot to mention this on last Monday's live, so it's at the end, and I shouldn't have. Okay, we've got Fixate setting spray. I think it's very similar to the old setting spray that we had, and the Fixate has aloe vera in it, niacinamide. It helps with hyperpigmentation. It says to reduce pores and fine lines. I haven't found that, but I have oily skin, and this is supposedly the one for it. I used this one. For my oily skin, I just felt like I looked too shiny too fast, and it just didn't do it for me. But the Plush is a hydration, which I found interesting. Good skincare matters. And so I have a skincare line that I use, Beauty Society. There's a link if you want to talk to my gal. I don't sell it. But it works with my maturing oily skin. And so my skin's balance of oiliness is being worked with my skincare. I have found the Plush Prep Mist. I use it to prep and set. My makeup is good. This has hyaluronic acid in it, and it's really good for balancing your skin, balancing your redness and hydration and stuff. So I take this and I do kind of like a setting sandwich, if you will. But I like getting my face good and damp. So we spray it around. Okay, you get your face good and damp, and that's okay. I'm gonna take Saint's New Blotting Powder. It has a bit of a texture to it, and it has a sheen. So when I rub it on my finger, do you see that? That's what makes it work as a setting powder, but it still leaves your skin looking dewy. I'm gonna use a small fluffy brush. This is a blend brush. I'm gonna tap into it. I keep two because I use it a lot. You don't need two, you just need one. And I don't put it directly on my texture, but you can, but I go right outside of it, and then I bring it down, and then I bring it up. And it sets my makeup and it keeps it going for a good amount of time. And I don't need to go and check on my makeup as much, but it still leaves my skin looking like my skin because it has that sheen to it, but it doesn't, I don't look like a trophy. I don't look, I mean, I'm a trophy wife, but I don't look like a trophy. But you can apply this to your high texture. I see I'm still a bit damp. We're gonna take that powder, okay? And we're gonna go in, ooh, Dublin, Ireland. Very nice. Hello. All right, so we're going to take this to this area here, and I'm going to start on the outer orbital, and then I'm going to work it in. And you can put this over your pores, on your crepey under eyes, and it looks finished, but it's not creating a bunch of chalky texture. And it's because it has that sheen to it. But I get on here and I'm going to show you my skin. I have I don't know, these ones with my makeup on right now are very hard to see, but I have two very deep pores. I think it's from chicken pox as a child, whatever. But this doesn't accentuate it, and it gives a nice finished look. Isn't that nice? That's a really nice setting powder. I love it, I love it, I love it. NARS has one that's similar, I think. Givenchy has one. These are $18, and I think it's a little bit better of a price point. So again, I start on the outside and then I work it in, and it just cleans it up. Really nice. I do feel that it adds a little bit of a tone and a brightness, which means if I apply it directly onto my blush, I'm gonna need to apply my blush again. So I just don't set my blush with it, and then I come around my nose when I feel like my brush is empty, grabbing some, and we can go, I start at the bottom of my chin and I work my way up. But it's a very nice setting spray. If you feel like it's added texture, if you've just gone ham and done way too much, just take your setting spray and sandwich it, and it'll reduce it. And then when your face is still damp, you just take that same brush and you'll press in the setting spray. I don't feel like I need to do that, but this setting powder, it's the Feather Blotting Powder, not the Vanilla Dust. I've used the Vanilla Dust. I have them right here, and I took them out and I replaced it with this. I like it more. And the powder, I just couldn't set my under eyes the way I wanted to. But I think now that my makeup's on, and I'm pretty zoomed in, but now that my makeup's on, here's my take. I have found that when I'm playing with traditional foundations, a matte finish is not for me. And that's because I have maturing skin. And I find that the matte finishes can sometimes accentuate fine lines and wrinkles and pores. It also can mature and dull your skin because there's no sheen to it because it's mattifying. So for my preference on how my makeup looks, I don't like a matte finish. And I don't want to have to add extra things under and over to give that dewiness when I can go and find a perfectly good dewy finish foundation. It's about finding the foundation that works with your skin. And some people just don't like online shopping. And so I have been trying different foundations, but I have found that finding a dewy finish, full coverage foundation is what I like. And so the Hydro-Flex and the Charlotte Tilbury so far are my top picks. I want to try one with e.l.f. because I want an affordable one. I tried the Catrice. I made a video and I can't bring myself to share it because I just genuinely didn't like it. And it's because it was mattifying. It's not because it's a bad product, and it makes me scared to try the Estee Lauder, but I find that my makeup right now, it looks nice. I just like Saint more, and that's the only difference. It's not that one's trash, it's terrible, it's nice. These are really nice foundations. I just like Saint more because I have the same finish. I have less makeup on when I'm using Saint. And with this, I had to reapply. I had to keep building to get the coverage I wanted. Because if I had to go on and then go over those same spots with concealer, it would have made it look even heavier. So I find I like these foundations. They give me the coverage I want, and they have that nice, dewy, hydrating feel. They don't feel chalky. I feel, to the naked eye, when I look at the mirror, it looks heavy. And I like my makeup to look covered but light. So it's all a matter of preference. If you don't mind it looking a little heavier and you're happy with it, great. These are also foundations that are in $35, $45, sometimes $65 a bottle. Sane is $16 for your foundation, and it lasts just as long, and it gives you good coverage with light amount. And it all lasts depending on how often. Like if you don't wear makeup every day, it's gonna last you a year. Genuinely, I have people who still have their makeup after. The girl I talked to yesterday was showing me her makeup. She was at the end, but she's had it for 2 years. And it was still working really well. You can clean them, melt them, swirl them with a toothpick, and clean out any gunk. Like that's a good maintenance on them to keep them fresh and reset them. But for me, I just prefer Saint. But I also like to get up and show the makeup. This is a nice finish. I just feel that down here, it just looks a little heavy. It's gonna crease and it's gonna crack right here because it's already starting to, because I talk and I smile. So this was a big area for me where my makeup would gather and it would crack. Same down here, I'm already starting to get a little crack here from the concealer. I feel like my skin, while up here doesn't look so bad, I like a good skin dewy finish. And that blotting powder helps with this. But I think my oiliness is pulling through in here because, again, I'm oily. And I find that Saint works well with my oily skin. Whereas this concealer is jumping me to greasy very quickly. But it gives a nice finish. Skin should look like skin. I just think down here, this is where I'm struggling, is I look like I'm a little marionette and it's gonna crack right here. But again, it's not a bad finish. It's really not a bad finish. I just like Saint more. And that's it. And that's all. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't like this. Like if you're like, I like that, I'm gonna go get it. Good. That's why I share it. It's a really good option where you can just go and grab. And I do prefer Tarte concealer. And if you're unsure, buy travel sizes. Buy travel sizes. But I think this travel size was $17. The big one is much more expensive. But I didn't love the Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Very hard to blend. I felt like I was moving my skin and maturing my skin. Like if you're pulling at your skin, it's gonna like, whoop, mature it. But to each their own. I don't want to yuck your yum. I love giving options. I like Saint more, but this is still a very, like, I feel good walking out the door like this. Simple, right? Easy. That's it. That's our Monday Live. So that's it. I will be back next Monday. I don't know what next Monday is going to be about, but if you have some requests, please drop them in the comments. Thank you for sticking around for those that did. I love doing my Monday Lives. Love them. And I like doing my videos throughout the week. And if you have questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I answer directly in the comments. If you want to message me, there's a link in the description. You can either email me, you can send in a color match to get you some Saint, and have a great day.